Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I am here with the top 100 Minecraft mods of the decade, although I am splitting this into two parts because 100 mods in one video would just be really long. And for this video, I've taken some of the mods that you want to see along with some of the ones I want on this video, and I've made a pretty good list. And hopefully I've included pretty much all the mods you want to see on here, although obviously some of them will be missing because it's pretty much impossible to get all of them into this list. There's just so many good Minecraft mods out there, many of them that could probably be in the top 100. But regardless, these are absolutely some amazing mods that I believe deserve to be on this list, and if there's any that are missing, it'll either be in the next video, and just in case, comment it below, and if it's a really good mod, I'll actually include it. And for this video, I'm not going to be ranking the mods with numbers, I'm actually going to be going in reverse alphabetical order, and I have a reason for this, and this is because of what I want to be the #1 mod, which will be shown in the next video. So anyways, let's go ahead and check out those mods. Alright, the first mod I have for you guys today is the Zoo and Wild Animals Rebuilt mod. And this mod has a pretty large amount of new mobs, and most of them have variants, which is always a good thing, and the models for these creatures are for the most part very high quality, and generally just fits in pretty nicely with the game. Next up we have Young's Better Caves, and I was going to go with Worley's Caves, but this mod is pretty much Worley's Caves, but with a lot more cave types included. And when you have this mod installed, caves are just far better than they were before in terms of generation, and really installing this mod just goes a long way towards making exploring caves actually fun. Next up we have a mod that's a little bit older, and sadly not being updated right now, and this is the WTF Expedition mod. And this mod makes some pretty big changes to your world. For one, it makes the trees massive, and it also makes it so caves are a lot more detailed and interesting to explore. And currently, the newest version of Minecraft that you can get this mod for is 1.10.2. After that comes a mod that I will literally always have installed if it's available, and this is the WorldEdit mod. This mod has been around forever, and it's so helpful you really can't even measure it when you're in creative mode. You can literally place thousands of blocks within a few seconds as opposed to like a day or two. And in other words, this mod definitely deserves to be here. Next up, we have the Wild Nature mod, and this is one of the newest mods on this list, but the amount of content it already has is just ridiculous. This mod adds amazing new biomes, new creatures, a bunch of new blocks, and the list just really keeps going. The amount of progress made on this mod in such a short amount of time is a good sign for the future. Next, we have the Weather, Storms, and Tornadoes mod, and this mod adds everything that's included in the title. And when you have this mod installed, the weather can range anywhere from just a little trickle to pretty much just the end of the world. And this mod even adds wind to the game, which you will see leaves blowing in, and I think it's a really nice effect. Next up, we have Vivecraft, and this mod gives Minecraft full virtual reality support. And while you can play Minecraft in virtual reality with the Windows 10 edition, it just isn't really the same because you can't have mods installed. And really, the mix between virtual reality and modded Minecraft is a pretty amazing thing. After that, we have Vic's Modern Warfare, and I've said this before, I think this just might be the best Minecraft mod that adds guns to the game available. All of the guns are really high quality, and there's a load of them, and they're really fun to play around with, although I wish in creative mode they just had unlimited ammo because trying to find the ammo for them is a little bit of a pain. Next up, we have VanillaFix, and this just might be the most basic mod on the list, but I always have it installed. And the reason for this is because, aside from just general performance improvements, this mod makes it so when your game crashes, it just sends you to the main menu rather than completely quitting out of Minecraft. And when you have a bunch of mods installed, Minecraft loves to crash, so having this mod installed is just incredibly useful. After that, we have the first mod on this list that adds a new dimension to your game, and this is the Twilight Forest mod. And this is easily one of the most popular mods that adds a new dimension to the game. Honestly, it's probably just one of the most popular mods. This dimension's full of all kinds of new biomes, a bunch of creatures, huge boss fights. It's truly a massive amount of content. Next up is another dimension mod, and this is Tropicraft. And this dimension is completely focused on just being tropical. I'm personally not a huge fan of this mod, but a lot of people asked for it, so I'm including it. Up next, I have another mod that, like VanillaFix, is very simple, but I always keep this mod installed. And this mod is Toast Control, and what it does is makes it so none of those annoying pop-ups telling you how to play the game show up. Because when you've played Minecraft for 8 years, you know how to play the game. You don't need these tutorials to keep popping up, and you really should just be able to disable it. The next mod I have for you guys is one of the most downloaded mods on Curse, and this is Tinker's Construct. And what this mod does is it takes one of the worst things about Minecraft, that's its weapons and tool variety, and makes it like 1,000 times better. With this mod installed, you can make like hundreds of different tools, and there's just so much variety to it, and really, there's a reason it just passed 60 million downloads. Next, we have Thermal Expansion, and this is one of the oldest technology mods out there. Really, if you were to play a mod pack back in around 1.2, if that pack was centered around technology, it would have this mod and Buildcraft installed. It's essentially one of the fathers of technology mods, so it absolutely deserves to be here. Next up, we have the newest Dimension mod on the list, and this is the Midnight mod. And I would honestly argue that just in the short amount of time this mod has existed, it's already one of the best looking Dimension mods out there. All of the biomes are incredibly unique, and it's just a lot of fun to explore. After that, we have the Lost Cities mod, and this mod fills your world with long abandoned cities, which are very entertaining to explore. And the best thing about this mod mod is it comes with all kinds of presets to choose from to determine how the world's going to be generated. You can make it so cities are very rare, or you can make it so the entire world is one giant city. Next, we have yet another dimension mod, and this is the Erebus. This dimension is entirely underground, and it's filled with a bunch of insects and very thick foliage. This mod is sort of like just a much better version of the Nether, even though it's not really like the Nether. I don't really know if that makes sense, but that's just how it is. After that, we have one of the last dimension mods on this list, and this is the Betweenlands. And in my opinion, it really comes down to this or the Midnight mod for the best looking dimension mod out there. What I would say this mod has over the Midnight mod though is it's been around for a lot longer, so it's had a lot more time to develop cool features. Next, we have the first magic mod appearing on this list, and probably the most popular of all. This is the Thaumcraft mod. I would honestly argue that this mod has been featured in more mod packs than Thermal Expansion has. It's just loaded with features and will keep you busy for a really long time. Now for the first villager-related mod, we have TekTopia. This mod also released this year, and when I discovered it, I was pretty amazed. The amount of improvements this mod makes to 1.12 villages is just ridiculous, and honestly, I'd say it's still better than 1.14 villages. One of my favorite things with this mod is just watching the villagers go about their day and actually do things, as opposed to regular Minecraft villagers, which pretty much just stand there and do nothing. Next up, we have Techguns, and this mod doesn't have quite as many guns available as Vic's Modern Warfare, but these are kind of more energy-based weapons, and they're really fun to play with. They're honestly a little overpowered, but you know, that's the fun of it. The next mod up is the Storage Drawers mod, and this mod adds some very easy to use, but very convenient storage units to the game. You just simply right-click whatever you're holding, and that entire stack will be deposited inside, and whenever you want to take that block back, you just click on its icon, and every single click will give you one of those blocks. It's a great way to stay organized and looks really good too. Next up is one of my favorite mods, even though it's a pretty simple effect, and this is the Sound Filters mod. And this mod makes it so whenever you're inside of a cave, there'll be reverb. And honestly, this effect alone just completely changes how you experience caves. It's something that once you try, it's kind of hard to not use. This next mod hasn't been updated in a while, and honestly, if I could choose one mod to have updated, it would probably be this one, and this is the Smart Moving mod. This mod adds all kinds of new awesome movement features to the game. Just in this video, you can see me flying, and rather than just moving up and down, you actually move in a very smooth pattern and change the direction just by looking where you want to go. It also adds different animations depending on what you're doing, and like I said, I just love this mod, and I hope one day in the future it's updated again. Next up, we have Roguelike Dungeons, and this mod adds absolutely massive dungeons underground. On the surface, these will be pretty simple structures, but underground, you'll find that there's far more than you expected. These dungeons will spawn a ridiculous amount of mobs, so be sure you're prepared when you go in them, because you're gonna need to be. After that, we have the Replay mod, and this is without a doubt the best camera mod that's ever came out for this game. This mod literally adds a full-on functioning theater mode to Minecraft, and really, the possibilities using this mod are endless. Pretty much anything that you would want to do with this mod, you can. You can even do time lapses. Next, we have Recurrent Complex, and this mod does two things, and it does them very good. First, it makes trees considerably bigger in your world, although not as big as WTF Expedition. And second, it adds hundreds of different structures all over your world, which are all unique and very fun to explore, and you can even add your own structures to this mod. Next up, we have realistic item drops, and this mod makes it so whenever you throw out an item, rather than sitting on the ground spinning, it'll lie flat on the ground and you won't even pick it up until you right-click it. And this is a really cool effect in game when you're playing, although be aware it makes it a lot easier to lose things. Next, we have the Cork mod, and this mod just adds a ridiculous amount of new content to the game. It really doesn't add anything in particular, it just adds a bunch of new stuff. And essentially, this mod is just trying to add things that the creator believes would fit into vanilla Minecraft, and I'd have to say he does a very good job with that. After that, we have what I would say is one of the most fun mods in the game just to mess around with, and this is the Portal Gun mod. If you've ever played the game Portal, you've probably experienced just how fun it is to mess around with those portals, and doing it in Minecraft is just about as fun, although it's a bit laggier. Next up, we have the Pixelmon mod, and I'm gonna be honest, I've never played Pokemon in my life and really have no interest in it whatsoever, but a lot of people requested this mod, so I'm definitely including it. This mod adds what I would assume to be most of the Pokemon into Minecraft, and you just do Pokemon related things with it. Oh, and on a side note, this mod is a ridiculous download size for a Minecraft mod. Next up, we have Pams Harvestcraft, and this mod adds an absurd amount of new food to the game. I mean, honestly, just look at this list. And this mod also changes vanilla food values, so you actually try some new things. Next up is probably one of the most requested mods I've ever had on my channel that I've never shown before, and this is Orespawn. And there's pretty much two reasons I've never really gone over this mod. One, it's very outdated, hasn't been updated in a while, and two, the girlfriends feature is pretty cringy. But once you get past those things, this mod does add some pretty crazy features to the game. I mean, honestly, the bosses look like a complete nightmare to fight. Next, we have a mod I've never shown on my channel, and this is the Optifine mod. If I were to guess, this is probably the second most downloaded Minecraft mod of all time, and truly there's no reason you should be playing without it. It makes your game run far better, gives you access to a lot more options, and allows you to use shaders. There's essentially no downsides to this mod, aside from a few modding compatibilities. Coming after that, we have the NoCubes mod, and this is probably one of the most unique mods that's ever been released for this game. You pretty much can't even play with it installed, but it is really cool to look at. Oh, and I would also recommend playing with some sort of shader when you have this mod installed, because it just looks kind of weird without it. Next up we have NetherEX, and this is a complete Nether revamp, and truly something like this is just what the Nether should look like. Without some sort of Nether mod, it's just so plain. And it's definitely a good thing that the Nether has at least had an update announced for it. Mistcraft is the next mod up, and this mod pretty much lets you create your own dimensions. And obviously, these are a little more basic than handcrafted dimensions, but still, it's pretty cool to be able to customize what the dimensions are going to look like or receive a completely random one. Mutant Creatures is the next mod up, and this mod didn't receive updates for quite a while until recently someone re-released it as Mutant Beasts. And when this mod was released, there was truly just nothing like it. Even to this day, I'd say there's only one other mod available that adds creatures with a bunch of abilities like this one, and that's Mousy's Mobs, which appears pretty soon on this list actually. It's truly a great mod, and I was very happy when I found out that it was updated again. After that, we have Mr. Crayfish's Furniture mod. This is one of the two most popular furniture mods you can get, and it kind of focuses on adding more modern type furniture to the game. It's loads of fun to play with, and adds far more customization to your builds. As promised, the next mod I have on this list is Mousy's Mobs. And I've said this before on my channel, this mod just might add the highest quality mobs of any mod out there. Every single one of them either looks amazing, is really fun to fight, or both. Next, we have the Morph mod. And when I first discovered this mod, I thought it was just unbelievable how cool it was. Pretty much any creature you kill, you have the ability to turn into. And that even works with most modded creatures. Next up, we have what is pretty much the mother of all creature mods, and this is Mo Creatures. To this day, this is still probably my favorite mod that adds new creatures to the game. Every single one of them is really high quality, and they're not just pointless. You can actually do things with them, like tame them. After that, we have the Mobins mod. This mod completely reanimates your character. You'll have new walking animations, fighting animations, pretty much everything is redone. And it also changes some mob animations. For example, spiders will now have bent legs. Next up, I'm actually going to include Minecraft Forge. And while this doesn't actually really add anything, it's what's allowed all of this to be possible. Without Minecraft Forge, modding in Minecraft would have never been as big as it is, unless something similar came out. After that, we have Minecraft Comes Alive, and this mod replaces all of the villagers in your world with NPCs that look more just like regular people. And what's cool about this mod is you can interact with them and actually develop different relationships, and this was one of the first villager mods out there that actually made villagers sort of interesting. With 5 mods remaining, next up we have Mine Colonies, and this mod literally allows you to create your own village, except it's far more detailed than any regular old villages. There's many different buildings you can have created, all with their own uses, and it's really cool to watch because you can actually see these buildings get created. Next, we have the Millionnaire mod, and this mod adds completely unique villages to the game, and honestly, this mod has just been around forever, and it's still really good. There's many different kinds of villages, and my favorite thing about this mod is you can see the villages develop over time, because all the villagers have their own jobs, and you can watch them perform them. After that, we have Mechanism, and this mod adds an insane amount of new technology blocks to the game, along with some really cool equipment, and this is definitely one of the better technology mods out there, especially just considering the amount of content it adds. Nearing the end, we have the Matmos mod, and this is the first mod that I can remember that adds ambient sound to the game. It's since been replaced by mods like dynamic surroundings and ambient sounds, but this was really the first mod to do it. And finally, the last mod I have for you guys today is Lycanites mobs. And this mod just adds a huge amount of mostly hostile creatures to your world, which will look really cool and are pretty hard to fight. Essentially know that if you install this mod, your world's gonna be pretty chaotic. Alright, that is the end of part 1 of this video. Part 2 will be releasing it fairly soon. If you think I missed a mod, go ahead and comment it below, and if I believe it should be included, I will make sure it is. And anyway, if you made it this far, thank you. This was a long video, and if you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and until next time, thanks for watching.